Good afternoon and welcome to my extremely messy layer of a studio. Today I want to talk about objectivity in science. Like, is this something that's actually possible? But start first with a story. I was on a film shoot with a group of behavior analysts, and we were trying to capture what they do at their organization. And one of the behavior analysts was nervous, clearly, before they sat down to have the interview and go through trying to capture what we were looking for. And it came up in just casual conversation that, how did you start doing this? How'd you get into this as a behavior analyst? I was talking about, we want to put out great content that people love to see, and how the editing process allows you to completely craft the storyline, what it is that actually gets published at the end of the day. And this rubbed the person wrong a little bit. As behavior analysts, we're supposed to be objective scientists, right? We're supposed to be able to look at things for what they are, make the decision, and move forward. But there's a few interesting things here, and it highlights a really great thing. You see, sometimes you have certain lenses on, like you see the world through one set of lenses, but there's different ones out there. And so I've responded to this in 3 different ways. The first one's a really fun game that I want to play with you and share real quick. It's I'm Rad, I-M-R-A-D. These letters, this acronym, can you think about what it is? I guarantee, I promise you, that if you are a scientist, that you have definitely ran into this acronym at some point. So I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. I'm gonna put it on the clock. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Did you figure it out yet? It's very simple. Introduction, methods, results, and discussion. I guarantee half of you are like, no, just figured that out. And this is a very interesting thing because it's a standard protocol of how we communicate our science. And that is, it's crafted in this structure, in this order, and always in this order, regardless of even the profession that you're in, because it's a way to tailor your information to a certain audience and be able to continue the discussion and hopefully have some sort of take homes. Like, it provides order at the end of the day. Now, the second interesting thought of this is programming for clients. Like, if we were to not deploy this sort of logic of trying to make sure that we knew exactly what to do under certain circumstances to have a desired achievable outcome, there would be no way they would be able to do any sort of functional assessment of problem behavior that leads to a true alternative response, like functional communication training, crisis prevention, teaching any sort of skill would be completely impossible because you have to, by nature, influence events that will proceed to that outcome. That's why we have something like a task analysis. Simply, these videos, I'm just following a task analysis. It's evolving and shaping up, but that brings me to my last point, which is there's best practices outside the field of behavior analysis. And these things should also be employed and brought in. We're pragmatic, we're empiricists at heart. The thing is that we're database and we can bring these sort of things in and evaluate them on our own. Nobody says that there's anything wrong with those sort of things. And what I've learned from the film, YouTube industry is that there is a whole lot that goes into everything from the lighting, the composition, the lenses that you choose, the audio, how all of these things mesh together. And so the point here today is that there is no truly objective approach to anything. As soon as you view and interact with it, you've measured it, you taint it. Your interaction alters the actual event itself. If it's in the best interest to tailor something for an audience and it's going to increase the desirable effect that it has, as long as it's moral and ethical, right? Like, why are we not doing that? Whether you're trying to get a publication submitted using the I'm Rad sort of format, whether it is that you're writing your behavioral program based on ways that you try to influence the intended behavior, or if you're like myself, making a video, all of these things, there's best practices out there. We should deploy the best practices and standards that we have. Doesn't mean that we need to be rigid towards them, but we should deploy them where they work. Use the data to guide you forward. That is a true pragmatic approach, and I hope you enjoyed today. That's your Daily BA.